So funny that before this game, everybody wanted to talk about how Texas A&M hasn't beaten LSU in Death Valley in 20 some odd years. Don't nobody give no damn about your stats. What's going on, everybody? My name is Daniel Augustin. This is multi-AF. Before I move forward, I would like to just kindly ask if you would please just tap that subscribe button that's like right over here somewhere. It's right here within that vicinity. I got this crazy goal of trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and one thing I know for certain is it ain't gonna happen without you. You feel me? Let's make that happen. Now let's talk about this game real quick. 49-25, Texas A&M at Death Valley. Texas A&M cleaned the crowd out by the third quarter. LSU puts up 18 points in the first half. Almost an unprecedented 18 points because they look kind of good doing it. And they score one touchdown in 30 minutes of football in the second half. LSU is bad. There's no way around that. There's no way around that. This was a game that's more evenly matched than LSU even can admit to, than the media can even admit to. But the biggest difference in this game, it's not a statistic that goes on any of these apps. There should be a statistic in these apps that talk about coaching. Yeah, we see first down, we see what you did on third down, fourth down, turnover, sacks. We see all that, time of possession, fumbles, loss. We need to see a stat that says this is the coaching meter. This coach coached this good. This coach, he did 25%. We give him like 25%, because he had one good quarter, this coach. We need to start seeing that because it ain't nothing that Brian Kelly is doing to prepare these guys to play. LSU is clearly an organization, a program that spent money on players but did not spend the time. LSU is essentially one of those families that's a silver spoon family right now and just got the money to burn but don't got the time, sensitivity, and vulnerability to be there for their children because they just got guys out there just playing. Why did it take this long for them to figure out some kind of a run game? And what's crazy is maybe it's based on the sacks because Texas A&M had 7 sacks. LSU had 0. Where the fuck you at, Pyburn? Peyton? Where the fuck y'all at? What you mean you ain't got no sacks? What you mean you ain't putting no pressure on the quarterback? I don't care. What? What's crazy is I didn't even realize that until I just looked at this. Texas A&M 426 total yards. LSU 278. We 2 times better than you. They 2 times better than you. And here's what's crazy. Texas A&M had 202 passing yards to LSU's 218. So they didn't even need to throw the ball. They just decided we just going to run the hell out of this ball. Because Texas A&M had 224 rush yards to LSU's 60. Why I was surprised about that 60 number is because while I was watching Harlem Berry, if I'm not mistaken, that's LSU's freshman running back, he was balling. But he only had 9 carries. Why he only got 9 carries? He averaged 6.6 per touch. What's going on with the coaching and the decision making? LSU, man, they fumbled. They fumbled a grand opportunity. And listen, being in the SEC can get you fired. I be hearing people talk about James Franklin coming to coach the Gators. People are making videos talking about, people are making videos talking about James Franklin coaching LSU. Bro, that is career suicide, bro. That'd be so foolish because if you don't perform at one of these colleges where people are expecting you to perform at, you're gone. I mean, they firing a coach, what's his name, from Arkansas. People want to fire Mark Stoops from Kentucky. So coming into the SEC is dangerous because you're going to have at least 4 or 5 of these big games. It's not like the Big Ten. I'm sick of people trying to compare the Big Ten to the SEC. I'm sick of it. This is probably the first year the Big Ten is really a threat in multiple ways where it's like, man, we can get tripped up versus Washington. We can get tripped up versus USC. It ain't been like we can get tripped up versus Northwestern. Northwestern? Before this past Saturday, people was thinking UCLA was one of them teams. They not. You still got to come ready to play every game. But in the SEC, you can literally lose to Mississippi State. You can lose to Vanderbilt. You can lose to damn Texas A&M. You can lose to Texas. You can lose to Georgia. You can lose to Tennessee. You can lose to Missouri. You can lose to Alabama. I just named at least 8 schools that are like, I mean, the SEC has literally like, let's see, I think I got a picture on my phone because I saw it and it threw me for a loop. It shocked me. The SEC literally has like 8 teams that are currently in the top 25. Texas A&M is ranked 3rd. Alabama's ranked 4th. Georgia's ranked 5th. Ole Miss is ranked 7th. Vanderbilt is ranked 9th. Tennessee is ranked 14th. Oklahoma is ranked 18th. Missouri is ranked 19th. Texas is ranked 20th. 9 teams. 9 teams in the top 25? That's crazy. Okay? And we look at the AP top 25, Ohio State and Indiana. Sure, they at the top. But then we follow that up immediately with 3 SEC teams. Okay, cool. You got Oregon popping in there right quick, so it's 3-on-3. Bet. We not on that. We not on what you want, because now we're going to hit you with Ole Miss. 4-on-3. Georgia Tech, ACC. Okay, but Vanderbilt. Here we go. 5-on-3. Miami, ACC. They got 2. So what we got? 5-3-2. Now you got BYU. Oh, all right, Big 12. That's cute. Notre Dame, independent. Now you got Texas Tech. Now you got 2-on-2, Big 12 versus ACC. Now you got Tennessee. That's 6-on-3, on 2-on-2, on 1. Now you got Virginia. I'm doing this all off the dome, off the rip. Now, come on now. Now you got Virginia. Now you got Louisville. So now we got 4 ACC teams. We currently have more ACC teams in the top 25. I'll finish this off first before I really declare this. But right now, there are more ACC teams by the time I get to 16 than there are Big 10 teams. Now we got Cincinnati. That's Big 12. That's 3 for them. We got Oklahoma. Is that 7 for us now? Missouri. That's 8 for us now. Texas. That's 9 for us now. And now we got Michigan. So that's their 4th. And then we got Utah. That's the Big 12's like 4th. And then we got USC. So Big 10 got 5. Utah. Big 12 got 5. If I'm not mistaken. The math could be wrong, but I think the math is mathing. And then we got Memphis. We almost have 2 times as many SEC teams in the top 25 as we do Big 10. Come on, man. The SEC is a challenging conference, and it's why Brian Kelly got fired. He should. 4 years, you got plenty. You got plenty of time, dog. You got plenty of time. You should have been turning that shit around, okay? You're not turning it around because you just throwing money at the problem. You just threw money at Peyton and got him to leave FSU. He don't look good out there. He's disappearing. I don't even see him on the tape. He doesn't even come up on the tape. I almost feel like he just came over there just to get a quick little band right quick, just get some money right quick, and he's just fading off into just being a non-existent ball player. He probably mess around and go 4th, 5th, 6th round. Pyburn. What is Pyburn even doing at LSU? Whit Weeks is always injured. Besides the secondary, I don't know what they got going on over there right now. It's time for Brian Kelly to go. He didn't come off as a good coach in press conferences. The way his team shows up in these games, he doesn't come off as a good coach. I mean, it's his responsibility to do the recruiting and to make sure that they have the pieces that they need to have. But for some reason, Texas Tech got more pieces. For some reason, Tennessee got the pieces they need to go deep when they need to go deep and put up points. Why? How? Mississippi State. Mississippi State be putting up more points than damn LSU. I can go through the whole list. If I just looked at the top 25, I mean, Indiana's putting up more points. Ohio State, Texas A&M, Alabama. Georgia is uncharacteristically better on offense than you would ever expect them to be this season. Oregon struggles a little bit to put up points. They seem to be a bit more methodical, okay? Not as high-powered offense as you would expect, okay? And I'm not going to go through the whole list, but LSU has been struggling their way through. And if LSU was, let's say, in the Big 12, I mean, they're probably 7-1. They might lose to a team that can really, hurt you on the ground, in the air. But I would take LSU over BYU right now. I would take LSU over Cincinnati right now. Maybe not. I would take LSU over just about any team in the Big 12. I'd take LSU over just about any team in the ACC, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia Tech gave them problems because LSU isn't putting up that many points. They're struggling constantly. They're struggling. They don't even score more than 30. They're struggling to put up more than 4 touchdowns a game. This is LSU. Aren't y'all wide receiver you? We can't call you that now because there's a duo at wide receiver at Indiana. There's an amazing duo at wide receiver at Ohio State. There are receivers at Ole Miss, receivers at Florida. Florida got more receivers than they know what to do with them. A&M's got a duo. Alabama's got a duo. Miami's got a duo. It just seemed like everybody is doing better than LSU, and I'm not surprised to see Brian Kelly get the axe. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being the job where John Gruden comes to play. Shout out to Pat McAfee. I really appreciate him on College Game Day. When they asked who they see being the next coach of the Florida Gators, he brought up John Gruden. I don't know why nobody's talking about this guy. I don't get it. I do not get it. One of the most popular commentators, coaches on television for so long, so personable. Such a great football mind, and for whatever reason, people want to talk about Jeff Brom. I don't understand. But it's people. People going people. People going people. Listen, just to wrap this up on LSU here, they're 5-3, and they officially now have 3 losses in the SEC. LSU has dropped below the Florida Gators. Let's make that really clear so everybody understands how far they have fallen now. They are below the Florida Gators. Don't worry about the 5 wins. Yeah, LSU could go to a bowl with just a couple more wins here, but are they going to get them? They got Alabama next, and then they got Arkansas, and then they got Western Kentucky, so that's where they probably get win number 6 because I could see them losing to Alabama and Arkansas, to be honest with you. But we'll see. Maybe they're going to be revived now that they got rid of Brian Kelly because everybody could see he was toxic as fuck. So I'm sure he was bringing that team's energy and creative capabilities down. He doesn't look like a motivator at all. All right, so we'll see. And then they got Oklahoma. Very tough schedule. I can maybe see LSU winning 2 of these games. They'll definitely beat Western Kentucky, and maybe they beat Arkansas. But I'm going to give this last one to Oklahoma because I think they're going to be hungrier. And I'm going to give the next one that they have against Alabama to Alabama because that's just a much better football team. As for Texas A&M, shout out to you. Still mad about the fact that you beat the Gators, but you should have beat the Gators, and I'm glad that you beat them the way that you beat them because it led to Billy getting closer to getting fired. And, better teams should rise to the crop, and the Gators aren't a good team. Got great players, but they're not a good team. So, I give it up to you. And I think the rest of their schedule moving forward is much easier as it pertains to every other SEC team. But it's still going to be challenging because these other teams cannot afford to lose. Missouri cannot afford to lose no more. They now have 2 SEC losses. So you better believe Missouri is thinking, hey, we got to beat these boys next week, dog. We ain't got no room for no L's. So I'm looking forward to that game against Missouri big time. That's a huge game for Missouri, and it's a huge game for Texas A&M. Then they got South Carolina. South Carolina is pesty as they're pests. They're going to give you problems. Then they got Samford, and then they got Texas. So their schedule is still challenging. It's still an SEC schedule, but South Carolina is one of the weaker teams in the conference. Texas can't afford another loss if they want to get to the SEC title game. So Texas is going to be hungry. They're going to be desperate. And Missouri cannot afford another loss because they already have 2. But Missouri just lost their quarterback. So we're going to see what Missouri looks like. They're probably going to go out this season and just, they have the excuse now that, man, we lost our starting quarterback. But let's see, man. Maybe this new quarterback can get things rolling for them and they can kind of, figure some things out. And, just start to kind of clean up the rest of their season here. But more than likely, we all know Missouri is more so on the way out, Maybe though, because the quarterback is a pocket passer, so maybe he's throwing the ball around the yard, and we'll see. It's up in the air. Ultimately, Texas A&M, one thing I can say is they don't have much film on the quarterback for Missouri right now. Can't remember his name, but they don't have much film on him, and that's probably the biggest advantage that Missouri has going into this next game on November 8th. Guys, if you got to this part of the video, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you watching, but I can tell you how much I would appreciate it if you decided to subscribe. All you got to do is a little button like right there. It's right here in this orbit. Maybe it's over here, but you just tap that button, that subscribe button. Tap that little bell. That means every time I drop one of these videos, it's going to go right to you. You're going to get the notification. So me and you, we're going to be tapped in. You dig? We're going to be tapped in so we could chop it up on this college football journey. You know what I'm talking about? Because this is something I'm passionate about. I love college football. I love this shit. I wish I could suit up right now, bro. Dead ass. Maybe I can. Maybe I should just go and just try to get in one of these NAIAs or some shit like that. I'm not going to do that. But I'm passionate about this. I love this game. You feel me? I love college football more than the pros, to be honest with you. I love the pros, but I more so love to bet on the pros. I more so love to just see where these college athletes end up at the pros and how they end up developing. I just love to see these guys at the college level. I love the brands. I love the bands. I love the spirit. It's just an amazing game. And so I really appreciate people that respond to my passion by letting me know via the subscribe button, by letting me know via the comments, by letting me know via the likes. That shit means something to me. And I love the fact that we build in a community where we can chop it up. I got games on Saturdays where sometimes I'm watching the games and I see somebody with a comment and it's an intelligible comment, and it just makes me like all the more happier, all the more like passionate about the game. And then there's some people who write stuff that it's a bunch of Arch Manning hate or some foolishness, and it just makes me passionate because it just feels like, it makes me feel a little crazy, but I love it because it just feels like almost like a masculine camaraderie of some sorts. So, I really appreciate you if you've got to this part of the video and you've been rocking with me and watching these videos. Would appreciate it, like I said, 10 times more if you help me hit that goal of 10,000 subscribers and just hit that little button right there. Man, I can't tell you how much I'd appreciate that. Let's see what happens as we move forward through the rest of the season. Let's see if there's any fraudulence in Texas A&M. And I can't wait to see who LSU is targeting. I'm already hearing Lane Kiffin, like, Lord Jesus, he can't coach everybody. All right, somebody start to look somewhere else. Tap in.